Before the chaos of the holiday season really kicked into high gear, my husband and I took a little weekend getaway vacation to San Juan Island with our dog Harper, of course. Now, my ideal getaway is one that I can bring my dog to, so we were off to this amazing property called Lakedale. They are super dog friendly, and I'll talk more about that in a second. But let's talk about the journey to get there because honestly, I love traveling to the San Juan Islands. We caught the ferry at Anacortes all the way up to Friday Harbor. So for us, it was quite a trek to get to Anacortes, but it's so worth it. And then once you are on the ferry, you can just hang out and relax. The ferry ride is about an hour from Anacortes to Friday Harbor, and it's just stunning and beautiful. And if you didn't know this, the Washington State ferries are not dog friendly unless your dog is in a carrier. So, like, your dog can stay in your car, of course, but they can't come into the ferry unless you hang out in this other little area. That's where this shot is from. It's like inside outside area that you can have your dog as long as they are leashed and well behaved. So, we got to bring Harper up there and just enjoy the views from the ferry. I grew up going on the Washington State ferries quite a lot with my family, so going on one of these is always super nostalgic. Plus, it's gorgeous. Even on kind of a gloomy day like it was here, it just never gets old. I seriously think that taking a ferry in Washington State is a bucket list item that should be on everybody's list. If you ever travel to Washington, you should try to take a ferry somewhere. It's just an incredibly magical experience that can't really be described. You just have to go and do it. Once we arrived to Friday Harbor, it was just a 10-minute drive up the road to Lakedale. Before we go any further, I do want to apologize. There's going to be a bunch of vertical video clips mixed into this vlog just because I was taking content for TikTok and just forgot to take some horizontal video. So I apologize in advance. I hope you all understand. I just wanted to include all of these vertical clips because I took so many and this property is so beautiful and I just wanted to make sure I show you everything. So it's a mixed bag, but let's get into talking about this property, okay? We were generously gifted a 2-night stay in one of their super cozy log cabins. I'll give you a whole tour of our cabin, but first I want to tell you about this property as a whole because it is incredible. Lakedale is an 82-acre oasis on San Juan Island. There's something for just about everybody. There's an adults only lodge, there are kid friendly cabins, they're also dog friendly, there are yurts, there are glamping tents, just about anything you could possibly think of, you can find here. They have campsites, they have RV sites. It's truly a choose your own adventure property. We visited in December, which is technically the off season where resting is the activity. However, I can see how this is such an incredible place to visit during the sunnier months. There's so much to do here, but we really enjoyed our time just unplugging and disconnecting. We spent quite a bit of time just wandering around the property, walking around with Harper. During the off season, dogs are allowed off leash if they have good recall. Harper does not, and she's just not the brightest little girl, but that's okay. So we kept her on a leash. There's beautiful swans that are there in the wintertime. It was so cool. We saw them flying around as well. Now, let me give you a tour of the cozy little log cabin that we stayed in. The downstairs is this super cozy living room with a full kitchen. Downstairs, there is a bedroom as well as a bathroom, and then upstairs, in kind of this loft area, is another bedroom with a king size bed, a gorgeous view from that area, and a full bathroom as well. So, two full bedrooms, two full bathrooms, a full kitchen, and a living space. Now, if I'm being completely honest with you guys, we had grand plans to go out to a fancy dinner, but this cabin was so cozy that we didn't want to leave. So we ended up just going to San Juan Island Brewing for a quick beverage and to pick up some pizza before heading back to the cabin. So then, once we were back at the cabin, we did what everybody else would do, which is grab a beverage, put yellow jackets on, and relax. Oh my God, it was just perfect. Then we watched some Christmas movies and went to bed really early. It was ideal, truly so restful and relaxing. In the morning, I brewed some coffee and had it outside on the back deck. It was so peaceful. It was pouring down rain, but it was just like the perfect cozy ambiance that I was looking for when you like picture a relaxing weekend away. This is exactly the vibe I am envisioning. Hot cup of coffee, beautiful birds chirping, the sound of rain on trees, and just a beautiful view. It was like chef's kiss. It was so, so nice. After a lazy morning at the cabin, we went over to Roche Harbor for some brunch. And honestly, this is the best eggs Benedict and hash browns I've ever had in my life. I had these when I was visiting here last spring with my mom, and I've thought about them like every single day since. They're so good. After that, we wandered around just Roche Harbor a little bit and we saw some cute seals. It was just delightful. If otters are the puppies of the water, seals are the dogs of the water. They're just so cute. I just never get tired of seeing all the amazing wildlife out here in the Pacific Northwest. We saw foxes last time we were here. All of our vacations revolve around food, so next up was going to Westcott Bay Shellfish. This is another thing I haven't stopped thinking about since I had it last. The oysters they have here are so fresh and so good. And you can get raw ones that are amazing, but also they have these baked ones, oysters Rockefeller style, that are so, oh my God, they're so good. I dream of them. After lunch, we came back to the cabin and I took some time to explore the property just a little bit more. Found out that they have a hot tub for the cabin guests, which I didn't get a chance to use, but it looks so peaceful and cozy. And I absolutely will be using this if I do come back in the future. We hung out with Harper a little bit more, snuggled a bit at the cabin, and then we went off to dinner in Friday Harbor. I didn't take any footage at dinner, but we went to Downriggers. I was just trying to be like really in the moment, but it was delicious. Amazing cocktails. Then we came back home, and you'll never believe it, but we just snuggled with Harper more and just hung out and watched more movies. I said it once, I'll say it again. Sometimes relaxation is the activity. You just need to rest. And Lakedale is the perfect place to do just that rest. Unfortunately, that meant it was time to go home the next morning. This was just an incredibly restful and lovely trip. I am so thankful for Lakedale for gifting us this 2 night stay. I cannot recommend it enough, truly. I hope that this was a helpful and useful guide to the perfect weekend on San Juan Island. And just remember, you deserve rest too.